So this should be the easy part, and actually it's not that easy to cut 1/4-inch strips of paper. But we're going to do that today, and we're going to practice some quilling without using any special papers or special tools. Hi everybody, it's Kelly from Collage-Lab, and I've got some mixed media March minis for you. So I have cut some strips out of regular colored copy paper and a few out of cardstock, a little bit heavier weight paper. We'll see which ones work best, if any work at all. And I am going to use a wooden skewer to wrap my quilling paper around, and I am using some art glitter glue. Elmer's glue would work fine. Something that dries clear, that's easy to use, and I'm actually going to apply it with a toothpick. So squirt some glue out, get yourself a toothpick, and we're just going to wrap paper around the edge of this wooden skewer. Now, in order to get started, the easiest way is to hold the paper on the skewer and just kind of run it over. See how that starts to curl? That's just going to give you a better starting place. And so hold it firmly with your thumb and start wrapping it around on itself. You don't have to wrap them super tight, but what you do want to do is you want to keep the paper lined up. So you don't want it going all back and forth. So if you want to put your thumbnail there as you wind it to try to keep the paper rolling flat. Like I said, it doesn't have to go super tight. It's not tight around my skewer, so it's actually turning. The skewer isn't. Straighten it out. Not sure how well you see this if my fingers are in the way, but you will give it a try. You will need some practice probably to get it going correctly. And at a certain point, you can even take it off the skewer, squeeze it together, and you can continue rolling just between your fingers like that till you get to the end. And that little end, I'm going to grab a dot of glue on a toothpick. Don't want too much glue. You don't want it squeezing out like that. So hold it for a second until it is firmly bonded. And I have a little quill circle. That's all we're going to do with that one. Next, we're going to do another one. And again, we'll start it curling a little bit like that. And I'm just going to do this quickly and roll it around. I'm being a little bit looser with this one and actually taking it off the stick early on and just rolling between my thumb and fingers. Okay. Get it all rolled up. And at this point, quillers have a tool with different size circles and shapes, but we're just going to wing it. We're just going to start letting it unroll in our fingers so that it gets to be a looser curve like that. So let it unroll a little bit. That's pretty good. And at this point, I'll go ahead and put my little dot of glue here. hold it down so that it stays stuck. We'll set that one aside, but we're going to do something fun with that as well. So those are regular copy paper. I'm going to try cardstock. I don't know if it's going to work or not, so this is a total experiment. I'm going to get it started curling around the stick. Cardstock might be a little too, when you start to curl it, it wants to fold onto itself. But we'll do a loose one here. And at a certain point, I'm just going to take it off the stick, roll it with my fingers. There's not a really good way to get a camera angle here. But you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just rolling it between my thumb and forefinger. All right, got it all rolled up, and then I'm going to let it loosen itself to about there. You'll get different size little pieces based on how long your initial piece of paper is, right? So I think most of these are 8.5 inches. I took letter size paper and cut the short way. And you can see there's quite a bit of paper there. So hold that until it dries. All right, so we'll set that one aside. So, not much we can do with this guy that's really tight. He's going to appear as a circle. This guy that's a little bit looser, we can bend him into a teardrop or a leaf shape. And so it's really a matter of just squeezing. So for the teardrop shape, you're just kind of squeezing, getting the circle part, the center, to go down into that rounded part of the teardrop. So it's not perfect, but it's okay. This one, the glue has undone itself, so let me put a little more glue on there and hold it just a little bit longer until it holds. You do want to clean up any little glue drips or messes. And I just do want to make sure that that's good and stuck before I try to bend it. So let's go ahead and do another piece of paper. The orange is paper, not cardstock. So go ahead and get that started. I'm not going to do a lot of these here for you today because this is rather time consuming. This is a great thing to do maybe while you're watching television or listening to a podcast. But really, once you get it started rolling, just pull it off, flatten it down so the sides are even, and continue to roll between your fingers and your thumb. That came unglued again. I don't think the cardstock is in the cards. All right. Get to the end of this, so it's all rolled up nice and tight, and I'm going to let it loosen itself up. And you can kind of help it along if you want it to be a little bit bigger. You want something like that. And so there, I'll Leave it like that and glue it together. I'm going to roll a few more of these off camera so I don't bore you to death, and then we'll come back and we'll create some shapes with the quilling pieces. All right, so I've created just a few of these little round things, and I'm going to do a little squeezing technique to make them into little leaves. You can kind of make them bend the way you would like to. So these I'm bending one way and then the other. I kind of like that. Here's an orange one. It's a little bit bigger. Just manipulate it with your fingers. And let's see. Got to get them all to sit the right way there. This one, the purple, I'm going to do into an eye shape. So I'm squeezing it, keeping the round part in the center, and that's kind of cool. So I have this idea of a little mini collage I'm going to create. I'm going to feature a tree and have some leaves. So I picked a black and white tree. I'm just going to roughly trim around this. All right. So I like how that fits. And then I was thinking of a black and white image. I found a couple that I think I like this one, but I'm just going to use a portion of it, size-wise. Let's see here. Roughly trimming around her face because I think a lot of this will actually not be used because of the small size of the card that I'm using. But I would like maybe something like that. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to just trim it to fit from the back side, roughly. And I can trim it better when it is glued down. I'm going to glue those two pieces down. Do a little bit of trimming on her side of her face. All right. So like that. So I'm gluing down the black and white collage pieces. Then I will decide where I'm going to put my quilling pieces. And then I'll show you how to attach those to the collage. All right, so the eye. You were wondering about the eye. I think the eye goes right there. And then I've got these little leaf shapes, kind of fall colors, that I think will decorate the tree a bit. Something like that. And then actually, I'm going to see if this little green one will fit inside of the eye. So I'm going to pull out some tweezers and kind of manipulate that eye so that I can place the green inside of it. That's kind of creepy. Okay. Don't think I'm going to use these. This one I suppose I could squish down into a little shape here on the ground. That's kind of nice. All right, so the next step is going to be to glue these quilling pieces to the collage. So I've got a little bit of this art glitter glue, white glue, and you can use Elmer's, and I've spread it out on a plate. And I'm going to take tweezers and grab my quilling pieces and just dip that back edge lightly in the glue, and then place it on the collage and press down. That should hold it into place. So again, with the leaves, just lightly in the glue. If you get too much, you can kind of tap it off. And then as you place it, just press that paper firmly down. So I've got the orange leaf. The tweezers will help you keep the piece in shape as well. And then once you've got it in place, you can tap it down. And the same with this big orange piece on the ground. Make sure that I get glue on the edges there. And choose placement and press it down. So I think these are all secure. And we've added a pop of color, a pop of weirdness, and some dimension to our little mini collage. I'll come in here and trim the edge real good here. And there we have it. Our little collage using quilling.